Hello, everybody. So good to see you guys. Hi, Ava. As always. And now tonight we have Bandit blocking the shot. Hi, sweet, wonderful baby girl. No, I'm excited to be here. I love seeing you guys. It makes my night. Hello, she's a maker. You are too kind to me. For real. Hello. Hello, Ava. Everybody's favorite paw pet. You got the cutest floppy ears ever. I bet it went by super quick. Hello, Eileenie Carlin. I love you. Oh my gosh, that is such a thing I would watch. Sounds so cool. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Catherine Gaston. Ooh, the planetary alignment that are going to happen this year. Hey, we are space cadets. Oh, I know it was only 2. My gosh. Who taught this girl to count? You want your third one? You want your third one? You want your third one? Yes, thank you so much for sharing that again. Spider-Man, hello. Are you better yet? Please, please get better soon. We miss you. Hello, C-Rex, my love. Did you get your nap? We took turns telling each other to go take a nap. Hello, Billy. You missed. Billy, oh, his chunky little pride is hurt. He's going to go lay on the bed where it's easier to get to. Sorry. He looks so defeated. Oh, you poor chunky thing. Ava, hold on. I have to console Billy for a minute. You poor chunky little thing. Oh, our baby. Hello, CE. Hello, Sir Philip. I love you. Hello, K. John Boom. Good to see you, sweetie. Hello, Mortimer Duke. What do you expect when you have a kitty cat? It's the chocolate starfish. Hello, Rocky Lennon, honey. Hello, Linda Applegate. Hello, Allison, my love. She will, too. She really will. Yep. I asked her to dig a 6-foot hole by about 5 foot wide. She didn't ask any questions. I just told her they were treats. That's so funny because I had to run and get I had a Walmart delivery order scheduled. I just have it delivered because then they bring it up my ramp for me. And it got to be like 9 o'clock, which was an hour, 2 hours past the scheduled time. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to call them. and I'd gotten a message that it was going to be delayed. So when I called them, they said, well, it comes in batches of 3 and no driver has chosen to pick your batch. I'm like, are other batches getting taken? They're like, well, yeah, there's still drivers out. So it could still get delivered tonight. Otherwise, it can be up to 48 hours. Or you can pick it up yourself. And I'm like, that's all of our groceries I've been waiting a week to get. So I was like, okay, I'll come pick it up, whatever. So I told my neighbor, the one that helps me out a lot, and asked him if he wanted to ride along. He's like, well, can you stop at the gas station and pick me up something? And I was like, sure. So I did that. And when I got home, I realized they gave me the wrong kind of what he asked me to get him. And so, and I just messaged him, I'm back. And so then I had to drive back out to the gas station. And when I got back home, I sent him, I'm back again. And of course, that's the song that went through my head. And I was kind of, mumbling it to myself. Those darn turds. They're so mean to me. That's kind of one of the reasons for the greetings. And I mean, yes, I do it because I want to say hi to all of you guys. It's my favorite part of the night. But it also, it gives people time to get in here to see, and if YouTube doesn't send it out, they know that I'm going to be on around this time normally. So they can check, the ones that get up to go potty in the middle of the night. And they're like, oh, I wonder if April's on. Oh, cool. That is so neat and scary. I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime, but there's always the potential. It's something you just don't want to think about. Hello, Shane. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hello, Joey Bag of Donuts. He's wearing his cape backwards. Hello, Deputy Director 50. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. My original lurkers. I love that. Hello, Karen. Good to see you, sweetie. She's a good puppers. She's a good puppers. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. For the cats. For the cats. Oh, it's okay, Ava. I promise it's okay. Nobody's going to bleach your starfish. Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking. So I tip typically around 10%, unless it's a huge order. I mean, I'm really not gonna tip someone like $30, to bring my groceries up. But my thought was, if they do it in batches of 3, then my pickup is dependent on what the other people are tipping too. So I almost wanted to ask them if they could bifurcate my order, like just separate it from the other 2. But no, that didn't happen. Pretty much. I got my daughter like 4 packs of vitamin water, And then I got a couple 6-packs of Mountain Dew. So right there, I mean, that's like 2 or 3 trips, depending on the person, or 6 trips for me. But it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's what we do here for Walmart as well. It automatically sets a 2-hour time block. Usually I leave a wagon at the bottom of the ramp for them, but the wagon's kind of full right now because I did do a trip to Baraboo yesterday, and that's how I get stuff out of the house. Yeah, so the wagon's full. Hello, Maligator. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. So a friend of mine came over yesterday and we were geeking out. We were looking at all the coins that I was showing you guys. We were looking at all of my Star Trek collectible stuff. Yes, I'm a nerd. They're like taking pictures of all my stuff. I've got a Matchbox car of the Enterprise, and a giant blanket, tapestry blanket of Star Trek, and the Leonard Nimoy, and the first generation Star Trek bills, Federation bucks. And then I've got a snow globe that lights up with different colors with the Enterprise in it. Yeah. We were having fun. It's like taking pictures. I'm holding the tapestry up. Yeah. It was a good time. Good time. No, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have so many wonderful friends. Oh, they drove past. They saw Earth, rolled their windows up, and locked the doors. They just zoomed right on by. I don't blame them. No. I could have if I did that, when I scheduled the delivery, but my Walmart closes at 10. So by 9:30, I had to make a decision. They're like, yeah, how fast can you get here? I got dog fur in my eye. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Pegleg Finance. Hello. It's so good to see you, honey. Love you. Hey, can you shoot me an email? I got a question for you. Please. Please shoot me an email. nightshiftwithapril@gmail.com. I would so appreciate that. Oh, I have never. Oh, wait. I think our Aldi uses Instacart by default, but it's on their website. So, you don't know that it's Instacart, but it is. I've never heard of Big Red Soda. I don't even know what that would be comparative to. It's cold here too, honey, but this one's yours. This is yours. I don't have Wisconsin one. But it's not those sticker ones. I mean, it's it's stamped in there. It knows it's Burr in Minnesota. Exactly. Yes. Like my bedroom. No. Oh, whoops. We already know your hubby loves my dog. Now he's going to love me too. Oh, well, aren't you just the picky one? I gotta find it though. You'll have to let me know what it is. Probably something, real wild, like peglegfinance@gmail or something like that, I'm assuming. Yes, they are. All of them. Every one of them. Oh, thank you. I don't like root beer. Cream soda is like the step above root beer. That it's tolerable, but I will not seek it. I'm a Mountain Dew kind of gal. Well, you do even without the asteroid thing going on. For your motorcycle. Ooh. I bet if you checked on eBay or something, someone has got it. They hike it up. They hike the price up. My friend has a 1.25 liter glass bottle of Coca-Cola. Of course, it's empty, but just the bottle is cool. I know they had them in plastic, but I didn't know they had glass bottles of 1.25 liters. Faygo. Faygo's a pretty cool thing. I like Faygo Cola. It's pretty good. Faygo Cola is closer to like what McDonald's Coca-Cola tastes like, because McDonald's Coke does not taste like Coca-Cola. It's weird. I've never heard of Cantfields. See, I think these are state dependent kind of things, similar to like Effinger Brewery was in Wisconsin. So a lot of people didn't know. Other states haven't heard of it. Spotted Cow is a Wisconsin thing. But that one other states do know because now they're shipping them around. Oh, Mexico Coca-Cola is so good. There's like 2 gas stations you can get it at. They're an hour away from me. Both directions. So. She's a maker. I can't put that up. I cannot put that up. Don't do that to me. Sometimes I accidentally click the wrong comments and then I get called names. It is, and it's so unique and specific. They spent several $1 million. There's a company with engineers that designed the Sprite to chemically react with the salt of the fries specifically. And the reason why McDonald's soda products taste different is because they were chemically engineered to react with the salt and give you a very particular flavor. I read an article about it. I don't have a Costco. I don't have any of the good stuff. I don't have a Costco. I don't have a Hy-Vee. I have a Walmart. No, NSFA, not safe for anywhere. But I love you so much. Oh, they have a Mountain Dew like that too, and it's so good. I don't like high fructose corn syrup. I think it is the cause of diabetes. Like, hands down, I personally believe that. I may be wrong, but I think so. Unfortunately, it's in everything. Everything. I did like a personal ban of it once for almost a year. I lost like 70 pounds. Granted, I've gained it back, but it's because I stopped banning it, I'm sure. But it's so hard to shop. Like reading every label took me hours. Oop, I saw a secret. Oh, ooh, you're supposed to do that to coffee too. Did you know that? If you add a pinch of salt to coffee, it's supposed to be like much better. Wild. Yeah, I only have them very, very, very rare occasions. I've heard of that one. I've never tried it though. Ooh, I bet you're right. I heard it was the water actually, but I don't know. That is true. Yes. Um, so our main street in Toma is Superior, also known as Gasoline Alley. However, the most popular high-end restaurant in town is called Murray's on Main. It's on Superior. It's owned by the mayor of the town, who is a very sweet man. He's funny and he's so much fun to hang around. I like him a lot. He's a good friend. Hello, Chinny. Welcome, sweetie. Oh my goodness. I think I'm really behind in comments. So I should sip some vinegar, suck on a lemon, lick salt, and then eat? It sounds like a plan. Oh, no. We do this all the time. You should know that by now. I used to do this when I first started streaming. Like the first 45 minutes was just talking to everybody and interacting with the chat. And I was watching my analytics and they weren't good. Like I'd have like 15 to 20 people for like the first 45 minutes. And it wasn't until I started the court dockets that it went up. So it was actually really, it was really hurting my analytics because you have to have more people in the beginning for YouTube to then push your channel out. So I had to like swap it and start trying to do the chats more at the end. I'm at the point now where I'm like, meh, it is what it is. And my friend who, he's like this big, where they promote, like, or they help channels get started and stuff and help them get like promoted and stuff. It's always telling me what I'm doing wrong. That's one of them. That's one of them. Well, hello. You knocking with your tail? Oh, don't tell me you gotta go potty. No, you just want to be part of the chat? She's so cute. All right, guys. I am going to put the case on. Oh, tiny kitten. Stop it. She's still in heat. It's frustrating. Hey, what? What do you want? It is. It really is. Everyone is welcome and everyone is loved.
Who's in custody? I can't see. It's very small.
Nathan Freedy.
And who is in Lina Lakes?
That's Francisco Villarreal.
Oh, that's with you? All right, let's do you first, Mr. Pollock. We will go on the record in the matter 23 CF 221, State of Wisconsin versus Francisco Villarreal IV. The state appears through Kevin Schmidt, District Attorney in person. We have Gabriel Pollock, Defense Counsel in person. Mr. Villarreal appears by video conferencing in custody in Lina Lakes Correctional Facility. We're set here today in this matter for a status conference. Mr. Pollock, please update the court.
Your Honor, I think we are close enough to resolution at this point that we could set the matter for a projected plea and sentencing. The primary issue in this case has simply been aligning logistics between the various facilities where Mr. Villarreal is incarcerated and the court. So I think I have times from the facility.
I do too. I remember.
So I think Mr. Villarreal and the state and myself are all very anxious to get this matter resolved. I think we're just looking for a plea and sentencing.
Can't do after 11 or before 1 and can't do after 3:30, but I think we can't do before 8:30. So I'll try and fit it in for the 5 minutes that we can do it. Okay.
Understood, Judge.
But how soon or close or when?
I think the court's convenience, Mr. Villarreal's in custody for some amount of time.
Okay. And Tuesdays are bad for you because they're Sawyer days.
If it has to be a Tuesday, I'll figure it out.
But Mondays are also bad, but I don't know if they're bad for you, but they were bad for McLaughlin because they're bail hearing days for Washburn.
I will.
I'm trying to remember.
I will
all this
work my
stuff.
calendar to make it happen.
This one's hard,
Yeah.
but at least it's not Harrington and remembering, okay, is it his church charitable day? Is it this blood giving day? I don't know. I can do Friday the 31st at 1:30. That should work in that precious
Yeah, that should be just fine.
time.
That should be just fine.
I missed the date and time.
January 31st at 1:30.
Oh.
Okay, that should work.
According to the facility hours of operation, 8 to 11, 12:15 to 3, that should be just fine.
That attorney's was nothing near the judge's
12:15 to 3. They said not before 1.
That was
That's
before.
what they gave you new ones?
That was before the new person took over scheduling on January 6th.
Okay. Well, then I remember. No, then you didn't tell me the new stuff that I had to remember. Okay. All right. Well, so that should work.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be fine.
Great. Then we'll do January 31st at 1:30. Hopefully that'll work. Good to go. We'll see you then. Mr. Villarreal, don't get sick. Mr. Pollock, don't get sick. Mr. Kevin Schmidt, don't get sick. All good. Okay? Thanks. We're adjourned. Now let's do, who is in, Nathan? Somebody was in custody? Nathan, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll get everybody in custody taken care of so everybody can get back to their normal course. We will go on the record in the matters 24 CM 141, 24 CM 158, State of Wisconsin versus Nathan Freedy. The state appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. We have Mr. Freedy appearing by video conferencing in custody in Burnett County Jail. We have the state appearing in, I already said that. We have Joseph Rosenthal, Defense Counsel by video. We're set here today for a status conference. Mr. Rosenthal, please update the court.
Your Honor, I haven't had much discussions with my client recently. I wasn't aware he was in jail until just now. I do have an offer from the state. I just, have not had a lot of contact with my client.
What's the offer?
I believe it was plead to one of the operating after revocation charges. I would have to double check my email.
I don't even know why he's in custody.
And
I have a warrant in Barron County, Your Honor. I missed court there on accident.
All right, because I'm gonna say, you're not on any cash for me.
I missed court in Barron County, and my PO is gonna have me be here until I go to treatment in like probably a couple weeks, a month. She's trying to get all my court cases pushed back until after treatment. I don't know if she probably
All right.
hasn't talked to you yet. I just talked to her yesterday. It's Leah.
Okay. So what is the offer? It's plead to one of the operating while revoked.
To either plead to one of the OARs for costs, or if he gets his license, dismiss everything.
Well, it sounds like he's not gonna be able to get his license. He's gonna be in treatment for a while and doing other stuff. So the offer is probably plead to an OAR for costs.
I'd
That's
be willing
what
to
it
do
sounds-
that, Your Honor.
You wanna do that?
Yes.
Okay. And it sounds like you're gonna be in custody for a while, and I don't know if they're transferring you to Barron or if you're gonna be here for a little bit, but we can schedule it for, how about we can schedule it for tomorrow at 10:45 and get it taken care of. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
The work, Mr. Rosenthal?
Tomorrow afternoon would work, Judge. I've got.
I can't tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I've got a 9, 9:30, 10:30, and then some client meetings at 11 and 1. Might be able to do something early in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah.
I gave you my time.
Okay.
Like, hey, I know you blew off client meetings for other judges, for other court things. You blew off my client meetings. So why don't you do that for me, huh?
Well, I know that thing went viral, Judge. I mean, that was-
I know it did.
I don't know what they're talking about or what it was that went viral, but I wish I did. And I wish I had been the one to run it.
I might be able to move my 11 to noon. That, I mean, I can't move the 10:30, but I could maybe make 11 work and just reschedule.
I'm just trying to work for Mr. Freedy. Okay, well, ugh. Oh, wait. For some reason, my January 10th, tomorrow, my 1 o'clock was moved yesterday and it wasn't taken off my calendar.
Can we get another judge, please?
I can do 1 o'clock. I don't know why it wasn't taken off my calendar, but I can do 1.
Yeah, that sounds good.
There, see, everybody wins. That works. Mr. Freedy, how about 1 o'clock tomorrow?
I won't be doing anything. Sounds good to me, Your Honor.
Great. Excellent. 1 o'clock tomorrow. And that works for you, Mr. Rosenthal, and you don't have to move anything?
Yeah, I think I can move that 1 to like 1:30, and it's a misdemeanor, please. So I think we, probably won't take too long for us.
No, I mean, yeah, it won't take too, I'm gonna tell you, it'll be lickety split. It's an OAR. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
I'll get her done.
Sounds good. What's the court's preference for paperwork?
Nothing. You don't
Okay.
have to do anything. I'll take
Awesome.
care of it all.
Okay,
I
great.
got it.
Great.
See,
Thank
this
you.
is one case and one thing with those things that where I'm like, it's loosey goosey. I can handle it. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
What was the one that got moved?
The Latrell Paffel.
Okay.
Because we're not doing his plea anymore because he got new charges.
Okay.
Is it Nathan in our jail?
I don't know. Is he in our jail?
I think
He was yesterday.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to get Mary. Our jail. Mr. Rosenthal, can you hear me?
I can't, Judge.
I'm being told that Nathan's probably in our jail. Oh, yes, he is in our jail. So I'm gonna get him. I need Nathan Freedy, please, in jail. All right, so I'm gonna put myself back into the waiting room. You can block yourself back out, and then we're gonna wait until the jail gets all good to go.
Okay.
Thank you. Ready? Okay, go. Okay, Mr. Rosenthal, they're getting him.
Sounds good.
He should be connecting now. But I'm gonna send him back and I'll get him right back and we'll see, because we have issues sometimes. I don't know what it is. And now I'm gonna say that they're just not gonna hear and they're not gonna see and they're not gonna hear and they're not gonna see. And I don't know what to do. Oh, Mary
You know, the nuclear button for that, right?
can't hear or see. I what? Have a nuclear button to go boom and get them out? Yeah, I can remove them, but I
I was
can't.
gonna say the nuclear button is tell the jail they have to be here in person.
I do have that, but
They would much less prefer that.
I know. I'm trying to go with the flow.
Do we have time, a budget to hire one of like those Jerry Springer cameramen that just like run down?
Yes. All right, Mary's going to call and see to see what's going on. So, because it doesn't matter what I do or what I say, and it doesn't matter how many times I click start your video. And I can't say start your,
Oh, there we
oh,
go.
there we go. But now they're gonna have to try it. Can you hear me? There you go. All right, thank you so much. Is the jail CO still there?
Negative.
Negative, Ghost Rider. All right, Mr. Freedy, can I ask you a favor?
What can I do for you, Honor?
When you are done entering your plea, can you please speak with whatever CO was in there, or if you have access to lieutenant or captain, can you please say every single time the jail comes in, every single time, it's always a black screen and no audio, and I can't hear or see, and you can't hear or see every single time with the jail.
I will tell them, Your Honor.
I appreciate that so much.
May I ask one favor in return?
To let you out.
Oh, that would be awesome, Your Honor. No, but when it's my turn after I plead, may I have a moment to ask a favor of the court before I enter?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I ask.
You will have an ability to speak. I will allow
Thank
you
you,
to
Your
do that.
Thank you,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
We will go on the record in the matter 24 CM 158, State of Wisconsin versus Nathan Freedy. The state appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Mr. Freedy appears by video conferencing in custody in Burnett County Jail. We have Joseph Rosenthal also appearing by video. We're set today in this matter for a plea and sentencing. Before I begin, Mr. Freedy, you're both appearing, you and your counsel are appearing by video conferencing. Yesterday, you stated that you were okay and you wanted to proceed by video and you were okay with your attorney proceeding by video for a plea and sentencing, even though you know that it is a right of yours to appear for a plea and sentencing in person. Are you still okay to appear by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
If at any time you have any questions or concerns and you need to speak with your attorney, let me know and I'll send you into a confidential breakout session, okay?
Understood.
And if at any time you cannot hear something or see something, do something to let me know so that I have an understanding that you've heard and understood everything that's went on here today, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the parties have reached an agreement, and I believe it is to plead to count one, operating while revoked, for a recommendation of costs only. Is that correct, Mr. Rosenthal?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my understanding of the agreement.
All right, so that is the agreement, Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mr. Freedy, you wish to accept that agreement?
I do, Your Honor.
How old are you?
43.
Can you read, write, and do you understand the English language?
I do, Your Honor.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or other medications in the last 24 hours?
Negative, Your Honor.
Any mental illnesses or disorders?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that you have certain constitutional rights, and once you plead guilty, you're waiving and giving up those rights?
I do understand all of them, Your Honor.
You understand you would have the right to go to trial. You'd have the right to have your attorney cross-examine the state's witnesses or call witnesses to testify for you. You would have the right to testify on your own behalf or remain silent and not have your silence used against you. You would have the right to have that jury trial in which 12 of your peers would need to reach a unanimous decision as to a guilty verdict or find you not guilty. And you would also have the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all of those rights you're giving up here today?
I understand them completely, Your Honor.
You understand that if you're not a citizen of the United States, your plea could result in your deportation?
I understand that, Your Honor. I'm a citizen.
Do you understand? I'm sorry, I have to ask that to everybody.
I understand. No worries.
Do you understand that as to count one, operating a motor vehicle while revoked, the state would have to prove on or around July 29th, 2024 in Burnett County, Wisconsin, while being a person whose operating privileges have been revoked pursuant to Wisconsin law, you did operate a motor vehicle on a highway during such revocation period or thereafter, which that revocation resulted due to a violation of Wisconsin law. Do you understand what the state would have to prove?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you understand the maximum possible penalty could be a fine of up to $2,500 or imprisonment of up to 1 year in the county jail or both?
I do, Your Honor.
You understand that the recommendation to the court is for the court to assess costs only, but that I don't have to follow that?
I do, Your Honor.
Said differently, I could sentence you all the way up to the maximum possible penalty if I thought it was warranted. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you still wish to proceed and enter a guilty plea?
I do, Your Honor.
Are you admitting here today that you operated a motor vehicle while your operating privileges have been revoked?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you know that they were revoked?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Mr. Rosenthal, may the court use the criminal complaint, the probable cause section, along with the statement made by Mr. Freedy to find a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Freedy, has anyone made any threats or any promises to you for you to enter a guilty plea here today?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing so freely and intelligently, telling the court you fully understand what you're doing?
Yes, of my own free will.
And so voluntarily, okay. And are you satisfied with your attorney's services?
Very much so.
Do you have any questions for the court or for your attorney before I proceed?
Just for the court, about my cash bond that I paid. I've been a colossal screw up lately, and I apologize. But I'm married, and it's one good thing I have in my life, and I don't have any money on my books here to call my wife and talk to her. And I was wondering, instead of having my bond, it's like $250, I think, forfeited to the fines. I was wondering if maybe I could please have it sent to me to the jail so I could have it applied to my books so I could call. And then
I
coming
don't have any money.
oh, there is.
Oh, is it from the other matter? It's in the other case? Or has it been forfeited?
I don't think it's forfeited.
All right. All right. I understand your request, and other than that, any other questions?
Negative, Your Honor.
Okay, so as to count one, operating while revoked, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
Court will find your plea of guilt is done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. I will find that you understand your constitutional rights and what it means to waive and give up those rights. I'll find a factual basis to accept your plea of guilt. Based on that, I will find you guilty of count one. The remaining counts, as well as the other case, will be, there is another case, isn't there? Yep, the other case will be dismissed and read in for purposes of sentencing. A judgment of conviction will be entered today. Argument and sentencing recommendation, Mr. Schmidt.
I think cost is appropriate because both cases are OAR. He's in jail. He can't get a license. That's all.
All right. Mr. Rosenthal.
Your Honor, I think the joint recommendation is fair and reasonable. It's a traffic status offense. Typically, no jail or probation is involved in these types of cases. So we would ask the court to accept the joint recommendation.
All right, Mr. Freedy, anything that you want to say or you want to add to the court?
You guys have been very fair and I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Freedy. Mr. Freedy, this is not the most serious case. They're operating after revoked with some bail jumps from other matters and other cases. So again, not the most serious cases. Obviously, you have other open matters somewhere else, and you must be sitting, and aren't you going somewhere else after I'm done here? You're waiting to go somewhere else?
I'm going to treatment, Your Honor. So I'm just waiting for
But
my
who's
PO.
holding you? Barron County's holding you?
I think I have a warrant there, but my PO is getting it, is gonna get it quashed, I think, so I can go to treatment here in a couple of weeks.
All right. So you're being held from Barron County's warrant because you're not being held on my cash. So you must have more serious things going on elsewhere other than an operating while revoked. So I have to look at how serious this is. Yeah, and I have to look at your criminal history, and I have to look at you and your needs for rehabilitation and needing to protect the public. Here, I would like you to get your driver's license. I would hope for you to get your driver's license, but it doesn't look like you have the ability to get your driver's license in any time in the near future. So this is the option, and this is the route that you chose to go, is to plead to the charge and to go to treatment and to get your life straightened out, which I think is commendable. So I will follow the recommendation as it relates to costs only. I understand your plea, Mr. Freedy. I understand your plea of wanting money, needing money to have on the books, etc. Two reasons why I can't do that. One is because the bail is to be used for court costs and fees. Two is because this is a court-appointed attorney. I'm not having the county pay for your attorney's bill.
I would still pay it, Your Honor. I just wanted, like, I still get my pension every month from the military. I mean, I'll still pay it. It's weeks and weeks away, and I haven't been able to talk to my wife. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Nate and Your Honor, there might be a workaround here. What I can do is just set up a call with you in jail, like on Monday. And then if you want to give me your wife's number, I can relay a message to her. And I won't, I understand that's not really legal. I won't bill the court for that or anything, but I could just have a quick call with you, maybe Monday or so, Nate.
That'd be fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Because if you're getting your pension, then you're getting money, and then you should be able to get money on your books.
In 3 weeks. That's the only thing, Your Honor. It's just 3 weeks away. So 2 weeks, 2.5, 3. I just wanted to call her and talk to her before then. I understand though. I mean, whatever.
All right. Well, Mr. Freedy, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. You swear, you promise you're gonna pay?
My word.
I can't give you all the money back because I have to look out for the best interests of the county, because it is a county paid appointment. And I have to ensure that that's going to be paid and court costs and fees are going to be paid. But what I'm willing to do, I'm assessing the $443 in court costs. I'm not going to assess a fine or anything like that. What I will do is I will direct that only $200 of your bail be applied to the court costs or your county attorney bill, whatever we do first. And $50 can be remitted back to you to be put on your jail bill. Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm grateful, Your Honor, but I had to get collected on warrants. And so there's a $50 collection fee. So even if you put that in there, I would have nothing. I mean, I'm grateful. Thank you so much. And I mean, could you do 100 so that I can at least,
I don't understand. No, because I don't know what's going on with the collection fee.
They take $25 for every time you get picked up on a warrant. It's happened twice for me, and they take it the minute any money comes into your books. So that'd be $50. So that would be the 50 that you would I mean, if you could do 100, that would allow me, ma'am, and I promise you I'll pay it back. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm telling you the 100% truth. I'm not fibbing.
Do you live
Right.
on this road? And
Webster,
how long have you lived there?
3 years, 2.5 years.
Where did you live before that?
Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
How long have you lived in Wisconsin?
My whole life, except when I was in the Marine Corps.
Cell phone ends in 1482.
That's correct.
All right. Do you understand that somebody who has failed to pay their court costs and fees, they just sat 3 weeks for failing to pay? Do you
I
understand?
understand.
I will have you sit 3 weeks. I can have you sit up to 6 months. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You understand that if you don't pay your court costs and fees and you don't pay your attorney's bill, I will issue a warrant and you will sit a long time. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor, completely.
She means it too. I have seen her up restitution payments. I have seen her jail people over their costs and fines. She's not playing.
I take my duty and my role very seriously, and I take my responsibility to my county and my state very seriously, and that means collection of the fines and fees and the attorney's fees. So you better pay, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Or you will sit time. So what I will direct the clerk to do is $100, all but $100 will be applied. And then you can receive $100. But I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Freedy, that if you do not pay, a warrant will be issued and you will sit substantial time.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. So you do get your pension and you can direct your wife to ensure that it gets paid monthly or at least or probably paid off right away.
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that Mr. Rosenthal will be issuing his bill to the county very shortly and that you are responsible to pay off that entire bill?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're going to pay off that entire bill and you're going to do so shortly after receipt, and that I don't have to collect it and I don't have to search you down.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. You have 20 days to appeal. Should you fail to appeal within 20 days, you do lose that right. I am ordering DNA. You have the right to have that expunged by a written letter to the Department of Justice. Mr. Schmidt, what am I missing?
Nothing from me.
Mr. Rosenthal,
Nothing from me, Your Honor. Thank you.
please get your bill to me ASAP. Mr. Rosenthal,
Okay.
Mr. Freedy, I will be watching this payment very carefully and personally. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand completely. May I ask how long it'll take them to get it there to the jail?
The money, I'm not really sure. I don't know. Couple days probably.
Cool. Thank you, Your Honor. Grateful.
All right. Well, it is a Friday, so I'm not sure exactly. So,
Understood.
all right, Mr. Freedy, if you let me down, do not let me down.
I don't think I want to. No, Your Honor.
If you know anything about me, if you heard anything about me, you do not want to let me down.
No. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. We
Goodbye.
are adjourned.
I'll let the jail know about the black screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Rosenthal.
No problem.
Mr. Harrington. Are you ready? Are you finally ready for Mr. Hart? It's been a long time a-coming.
I've been ready for a long time, Judge.
I'm sure Mr. Hart has as well. How are you doing, Mr. Hart?
I'm good. How you doing, Judge?
I am good.
Thank you.
I am sorry that it's taken so long to get your case. It's just been one thing after another after another.
That's fine. That's fine.
Are you doing some classes and learning some things?
You know what? Yeah, I am. I'm doing everything they have to offer. It's just, I already know what I had to do, just stick to my program. But yeah, Stanley's been good. I mean, I've been taking whatever you have to offer.
Well, that's good. Are you staying in contact with your kids?
Yeah. Yep. Most of them. Have been in contact with my younger ones though. And what's going on there?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Harrington, we're ready to go. I do have a plea questionnaire. That's right. It is filed. Were you able to get a signed one or not?
Was not.
Or not? Why not?
I thought he was gonna be here when we originally did this, and I didn't give it a second thought to get one signed. I can probably.
Well,
do
I
that.
guess I do, Kenny, before we begin and before I call the case,
Yeah.
Mr. Harrington has the plea questionnaire waiver of rights form. This isn't your first time in court, and you know what that document is, right? And
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna go over it again with you on the record, and so
Okay.
you're familiar with that document. And
Yeah.
on that document where you sign it, he has your name and he says electronic signature authorized. And are you okay with that?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
And Mr. Harrington, did you send him a copy of this?
Yes, he's had a copy
So
of this.
he has a
long time.
copy. So you'll put all of that on the record. We'll make sure that he has that. Okay, we're good to go
Yes.
then. Then we should be good to go. We will go on the record in the matter 24 CF 82, State of Wisconsin versus Kenny Hart. The state appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Defense Counsel Eugene Harrington appears in person. Kenny Hart appears by video conferencing in custody in Stanley Correctional Facility by video. We're ready today for a plea and sentencing. The parties have reached an agreement. I do have an electronically filed plea questionnaire waiver of rights form. Mr. Harrington, before I begin, I'm going to ask Mr. Hart. Mr. Hart, you're appearing by video conferencing from Stanley Correctional Facility. You understand you have a right to be here in person with your attorney?
Yeah, I understand.
And are you asking the court to allow this hearing to proceed and for you to appear by video conferencing today?
Yes, I am.
If at any time you have any questions or concerns and you need to speak with your attorney, let me know and I can stop the hearing and have him go to our Zoom room and send
Okay.
you to a confidential breakout session, okay?
Okay.
And if at any time it freezes or breaks up and you can't hear something or see something, let me know. Give a signal or something so I know, because I need to ensure you've heard and understood everything, okay?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay. All right, Mr. Harrington, the parties have reached an agreement. Can you please recite that for the record?
Defendant's going to plead guilty to count one, joint recommendation for statutory minimum, concurrent time with revoked sentence, credit for time from arrest and jail to today.
All right, do you know what that credit is?
Oh, March 24th. He's been in jail since March 24th. I had it calculated some time ago, but haven't calculated it today, but I
Since
will.
March 24th of 2024?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So Kenny, you're pleading guilty to an OWI 7th, operating while intoxicated 7th offense. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And your attorney mailed to you and sent to you to the Stanley Correctional Facility a plea questionnaire waiver of rights form. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you can read, write, and understand English, correct?
Yes,
And you read that document thoroughly?
I read it. Yes.
And did your attorney go over that document with you thoroughly?
Yeah, he did.
And on the second page, for the signature portion, your name is typed in there, and in parentheses, it says electronic signature authorized. Did you give your attorney permission to electronically sign your name?
Yeah.
And that was after he thoroughly explained this document to you and after you thoroughly read this document. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And if you didn't understand something about this document, did you ask your attorney to explain it to you?
Yes, I did.
And he thoroughly did so, correct?
Yeah, yep, correct.
So you're 49 years old and you have 14 years of schooling. And you're not receiving treatment for mental illness or disorder, and you've not had any drugs, alcohol, or other medications in the last 24 hours. And your attorney went over thoroughly with you what the state would have to prove your guilt for an OWI 7th beyond a reasonable doubt, correct?
Correct.
And did your attorney go over with you the mandatory minimums as well as the maximum possible penalties that you face?
Yes, he did.
Now, because you're charged with crimes, you are entitled to constitutional rights, and each of those rights is listed on that plea questionnaire. You read those rights, your attorney thoroughly went over those rights with you. Do you need me to go over those rights with you in any more detail?
No, I don't understand them.
So you don't need me to read those rights to you in detail?
No, I don't. We went over them.
Okay. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're waiving and giving up those rights?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you're not a citizen of the United States, your plea could result in your deportation?
I understand.
Do you understand that you're pleading guilty to a felony? As such, you will no longer be able to use or possess a firearm for life?
I understand.
Do you understand you'll no longer be able to vote in any election until your civil rights are restored?
I understand.
That's the one that keeps me on the straight and narrow.
Now, do you understand that the state would have to prove on or around March 24th, 2024, in Burnett County, Wisconsin, you operated a motor vehicle while under the influence of an intoxicant, which is a Class F felony because it would be an OWI 7th. Do you understand what the state would have to prove?
Yes, I understand.
You understand that upon conviction, you could be fined not more than $25,000 or imprisoned not more than 12 and a half years or both. That's the maximum. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you understand that you may be fined not more than that or imprisoned not more than that or both due to your number of convictions, but that there's a minimum mandatory confinement period with a bifurcated sentence that I must order of 3 years, something not less than 3 years of prison. Do you understand that?
I understand it.
All right. Do you understand that the agreement here on the plea questionnaire is for the recommendation is for the mandatory minimum of that 3 years to be concurrent with the time you're serving in your revoked sentence? Do you understand that agreement?
Yes, I understand it.
But do you understand that I'm not bound to follow that agreement? That I could sentence you all the way up to the maximum possible penalty or do any other sentence that I see fit if I think it's warranted. Do you understand that?
I understand that too. Yep.
Do you still wish to proceed and enter a guilty plea?
Yes, I do.
Did you go over the criminal complaint with your attorney? And that is that probable cause section that basically says what happened that day and why you were charged with these crimes?
Yes, I did.
For the most part, are those facts accurate?
Yes, they are.
Are you admitting here today that you in fact did operate a motor vehicle while under the influence of an intoxicant?
I admit, yeah.
And this would be a 7th counted offense?
Yes.
Mr. Harrington, may the court use the probable cause section of the criminal complaint to find a factual basis?
Yes.
Has anyone made any threats or any promises to you, Mr. Hart, for you to plead guilty to this very serious charge?
No, but yeah.
Your You're doing so freely and intelligently, telling the court you fully understand what you're doing here today,
Yes, I do.
and voluntarily.
Yes.
Has your attorney represented you competently?
Oh, yes, yes.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Oh, yes, you did.
Has he looked at this matter thoroughly?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, I am. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Did he look at the discovery and discuss that with you?
Yes.
Did he talk about any defenses you could have or a lack of defenses you may have?
Oh, yes.
Any questions for the court or your attorney before I proceed?
No, I don't have no questions. We kind of covered everything pretty much.
All right, thank you.
Judge, if I may,
You may.
obviously this is already by 7 and the first inquiry that defense attorneys do is they have to check the prior convictions. I did that. It took me some time, perhaps as Mr. Schmidt knows, and perhaps the court as well, to chase down some of the prior convictions, but I did. And my file includes copies of court documents substantiating all that. That is the first and most obvious defense for these sort of cases. And I went through all that with Mr. Hart during the course of our discovery and our discussions. And I think that needs to be noted for the record as well.
Thank you, Mr. Harrington. All right. Anything further before I proceed to enter a plea? All right, then as to count 1, OWI, operating while intoxicated, 7th offense, and F felony, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
The court will find your plea of guilt is done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. I'm going to find that you understand your constitutional rights and what it means to waive and give up those rights. I'm going to find a factual basis to accept your plea of guilt. Based on that, I will find you guilty of OWI 7. A judgment of conviction will be entered today. Counts 2, 3, and 4, and any other corresponding matters will be dismissed and read in for purposes of sentencing. Argument and sentencing recommendation, Mr. Schmidt.
We're asking for the statutory minimum for the 7, 8, or 9 concurrent with his prison sentence. We're asking the court to do it with or without PSI. I don't know how useful a PSI would be for the court. Mr. Hart's history is just the OWIs, traffic offenses. There's 1 fleeing and 1 possession methamphetamine.
Oh, that's it? That's all?
His history is all substance abuse. There's no theft. There's no burglary. Nothing like that in there. Kenny Hart's history is substance abuse and how it's affected him in terms of life consequences, consequences with the criminal justice system, and the case of OWI offenses, the risk you put the community at when you get behind the wheel. When you look at when those offenses occurred, sometimes we see people get, streaky with a whole bunch of offenses in like the 90s and then pick up and go off for a long time. That's not the case for Mr. Hart. There are similar-ish gaps between his convictions. 1995, 2003, so that's 8-year gap. Next one, 2009, 6-year gap. Next one, 2014, 5-year gap. Implied consent in Minnesota, 2018, 4-year gap. 2019, 1-year gap for that, but the last one is implied consent, and then this one.
And these are just the times that he got caught. I don't buy for a moment that these are the only times that he drove drunk.
So what's kind of interesting about that is each of those have quite a few years in between where nothing's happening in terms of OWI offenses. So he's capable of doing it. And yet every 5 to 8 years, this is happening again. When you watch the body cam in this one, you really see an almost like I describe as a desperation with Mr. Hart and how he's dealing with law enforcement. He's kind of mad, spinning off things that I know he doesn't believe or doesn't mean. And you can see like the desperation in his face and in his voice. And the thing it makes me think of is we have somebody in our drug court who's a therapist, a counselor who is sober many years, and he talks about something called the addict brain. And it's the addict brain making you do this, the addict brain making you do that. And you really see that in the footage here. You see Keeney Hart was behind the wheel on the date for this event. The alcohol remained behind the wheel of Mr. Hart even after he left the vehicle, in his brain and how he interacted with people. What I see today and why we're asking for the minimums here is if not for problems with the prison and scheduling, this plea and sentencing would have been 4 months ago. He entered a plea very quickly. You could see once he got sober and started being able to see things clearly and not through the lens of the addicted brain, that he was accepting responsibility. We're seeing the real Kenny Hart right now in this case, and I assume if he chooses to allocute or through his attorney, and that's who we need to try to achieve getting. I think we should be striving towards rehabilitation in this case, even though it is a 7, 8, or 9, because he doesn't have that history of, burglary or assaulting people or things like that. He hasn't been externalizing the costs on others, other than, of course, the risk OWI poses. So I think by doing this concurrent to the prison sentence, 3 years is a lot of time. You don't get to get out early from the 3 years because of various case law. I think that's highly punishing, highly significant. I think this is the best way to accomplish rehabilitation of the offender and protection of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a BAC or a PDT or anything?
We do. Let me see.
Let me see what that is.
It is 0.229.
229. All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Harrington, argument and sentencing recommendation, please.
Thank you, Judge. We start with the 3 factors: gravity of the offense, character and rehabilitative needs of the defendant, and need to protect the public. This is a serious offense. Drunk driving, 7. The minimum mandatories are there. The maximums are there. The legislature has said this is such a serious offense that it requires a minimum mandatory 3 years confinement if you're convicted of this offense. It's a serious offense. There aren't many crimes in our criminal code, as the court and Mr. Schmidt know, that have these minimum mandatories. This is one of them. Kenny is now 50 years old. When I originally did the plea questionnaire, it was October 10th, 7th, I think is the date on that. And since then, he's had a birthday, so he's 50 today. Last conviction prior to this was 19 CF 102, February of 2020. Mr. Schmidt really hit the nail on the head. Kenny Hart is an addict. He's addicted to alcohol, and so far in his criminal experience driving while impaired, he hasn't harmed anyone other than he losing his liberty and his family losing his presence.
He hasn't harmed anyone yet.
And that's probably the most tragic part of all this. Kenny Hart has a good, close relationship with his kids. Now he's got to finish out the sentence that was from the prior conviction and this one. And it's a minimum mandatory. As Mr. Schmidt said, he doesn't have an assaultive behavior or history. He's just a guy that when he drinks too much and exercises such poor judgment that he gets behind the wheel of an automobile and drives down the road. And then when he's stopped, he's not very pleasant with police officers, but that, as Mr. Schmidt stated, comes clear through the video. He's an addict. He was intoxicated. And all of us, if we consume too much of anything, do stupid things and say stupid things. I think this is an appropriate sanction, minimum mandatory of 3 years concurrent. Mr. Hart will be there for another 2 years. My calculation is he has 292 days since his arrest on March 24th. I counted the 24th though, so 1 day here or there, that's up to the judge if you want to do that. I think this is appropriate. He is receiving some services in the prison. He's not eligible for the early discharge or any of those programming that I'm aware of. So he's got another 3 years, 2 years, a little over 2 years to sit and cool his jets on this. And I think that protects society. The legislature has said that protects society, or the minimum necessary to protect society. I think under all the circumstances, that is appropriate, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Hart, anything you want to add or you want to say?
Yeah, my head is clear. It's just, this time to think about it, reflect. I know what to do, I mean, I'm sorry for coming into court again. I'm sorry that, I made bad choices. I did disappoint my kids, they need me out there and I disappointed them again, but it's just, I mean, alcohol is tough for me. I know what to do, I mean, I got the tools and everything. I know how to put them to use. I've been in recovery, in and out since I was younger, but I know what I got to do. It's like being around certain family members. I get tough, and I don't know. I do make bad choices, and I've been in wrong places and all that, but I know what I got to do. I mean, I just got to be more smart, make better choices. And I can do that. I know. I mean, I've done it in the past. I mean, I just got to keep it up. So, but yeah, my little ones are the ones hurting, and I disappointed them again, and it just breaks my heart. But I mean, I made a mistake again, so I'm just ready to fess up and try to get back to them.
All right. Thank you. I've known Mr. Hart probably since I started on the bench. And I think his last name represents him well, although it's spelled differently. Kenny has a big heart. You are a good man. You are a good person. You have a substance abuse disorder. You are extremely addicted to alcohol. And that is that is where the substance abuse disorder comes into play. When you are not under the influence, from all reports and from what I have seen in court, because you have brought your children here, some of your children have come to court. You are a good dad. You are a good person. You are a good friend. This could be the death of you, Mr. Hart. This could be the death of you if you are unable to get it under control. And that is ultimately so very sad. And it's not just sad for the community. It's sad for you. It's sad for your children. It's sad for the tribal community. It's sad all around, Mr. Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And in sentencing, I have to look at the seriousness of the crimes. And here, this is an OWI 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. OWI 7. Very serious. Very serious crime. I have to look at you and your past criminal record, and your needs for rehabilitation. You do have needs for rehabilitation. You have needs for treatment. You have needs for programming. You are already in custody. You were revoked due to this incident. So you are in prison right now, serving a revoked sentence. And now you are going to sit a mandatory minimum of 3 years for this sentence. I'm hoping that this time is that time, Mr. Hart. This time is that time that's going to be the eye-awakening time.
Yes.
The time that's going to tell you, this is it. This is the time I have to change my life. I have to. If you don't do it for you, you have to do it for your children. They say you have to do it for you, though. I mean, that's what they say.
Yes.
You have to do it for you. Your children need you, and they need you to be present in their lives. But now with this OWI 7, I have to look at the community. The community needs you to be sober.
Yes.
You have no legal right to drive.
At bare minimum, the community needs him to not get behind the wheel of a vehicle. Point blank, period.
Therefore, you should not be drinking and driving.
Yes.
You put the community at a risk in multiple ways. So this is very serious. So this is definitely a prison sentence, of course, and it's a mandatory prison sentence. You're lucky that somebody was not injured or somebody was not hurt. This was not a situation, though, where you fled or you tried to put others at risk. You may have been a little combative, I guess, or you were under the influence of a lot of alcohol at this time. And so you were not the sober Kenny that has come into court or that we see here today. With regards to the sentence, I do think that the mandatory minimum is appropriate. 3 years is a long time to sit and think, and a long time to have to be in prison and do programming and things when you cannot get out early. You have no ability to get out early. So the court will order 3 years of initial confinement and 3 years of, 5 years of extended supervision. So 3 years in, 5 years out, because it is a serious crime. With the fines and fees, this could get atrocious with the new legislation and the new calculation. I have whittled it down the best I possibly can, I believe. But you owe a lot, I think, on your other OWIs and things to Burnett County anyway. Quite honestly, I don't think it matters if I say $1 million with the fines and fees, but I have knocked off some, waived some fines and fees and whittled it down to the best of my ability. But it's still a hefty fee of $5,102 for surcharges, court costs, etc., plus an additional $10 blood draw fee.
I think
You are not eligible for the challenge incarceration program, and you are not eligible for the substance abuse program. Your sentence begins from March 24th, 2024. Concurrent with your revocation sentence as of March 24th, 2024. The time that you were arrested for this incident. You have 20 days to appeal. Should you fail to appeal within 20 days, you do lose that right. You're going to need to start to make payments on your fines and fees. I don't believe you get any type of per capita or anything when you're released, I don't think, but hopefully when you're released, you're gonna be into a reintroduction program and you're gonna start to
Yes.
work.
Yes, yep.
And we can address that when you are released, payment back. But if you fail to pay your fines and fees, you, not only will a civil judgment be entered against you, but you could sit up to 6 months in jail for failing to pay. You're ordered, and it's a condition of extended supervision, to set up a payment plan within 30 days of release.
Yes.
Extended supervision conditions: absolute sobriety, no use or possession of any illegal drugs, substances, or paraphernalia. Gainful employment.
Mhm.
No driving any vehicles
Yes.
on any highways, roadways, etc. Lifetime revocation of your driver's license. I'm ordering your DNA be provided. You can request it be expunged if the Department of Justice will allow it. And
The lifetime revocation of his driver's license, that's awesome if it mattered. I mean, he already doesn't have a license and was driving anyways. So, I mean, that's the things, you know, people who commit crimes, they don't care what restrictions have been placed on them. If they're going to commit a crime, they're going to commit a crime. So it's just words on a paper at that point. But I am happy that Wisconsin does the lifetime revocation. I don't know which OWI offense triggers that, but it's a good thing.
written letter to them. 292 days of jail credit for which you've been sitting already. I think that covers everything, Mr. Schmidt,
Nothing for me.
Mr. Harrington.
I agree, Judge.
All right, Mr. Hart, good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
I hope you're able to find the demons and handle them and take care of them and control
Yes,
them.
I will.
Kenny, do you want me to call you next week?
Sure, that'll be good.
All right, I'll set up a time next week and call you. Thanks.
All right,
Okay,
thank
thanks.
you.
Thank you.
We are
everybody.
It certainly was. And if you noticed, when they were talking about it being his 7th and the penalties involved, they were grouping 7th, 8th, and 9th all together, as if 7th, 8th, and 9th all carry the same penalty. But there's a mandatory minimum of a prison sentence, which that's a good thing. Apparently it's 3 years. So nobody can, skirt under that. And then they can't get out early. There's no good time. You get credit for time served, but you don't get that 20% off your sentence. So yeah, I'm not certain. I know they've gotten better, Wisconsin has, about cracking down on them, but there's always room for improvement. Anyways, guys. Yes. Yep, that's the thing that frustrates me the most. It's similar to DV. The number of convictions they have is not the number of times they've offended. It's just the number of times they got caught. But you know that it has happened more. And what do you do about it? You know, you can't charge them for something that they didn't get caught for. You have no proof of it. But 7 DUIs, that's alarming. That is scary. I mean, for crying out loud, every car accident I've been in, the drivers have been sober. Imagine, oh, it's awful. It's awful. Yeah. Pretty much, unfortunately. I think Michigan's kind of lax on it too, where it's a misdemeanor. You basically get taken in, and then you have to have somebody come pick you up. They sign you out. I mean, as long as you're not super drunk, then it's not that big of a deal. But to me, it's a terrible offense. I had a close family friend. I've talked about it many times on this channel. I had a close family friend killed by a drunk driver. And you can't get him back. You know? It's not fair. Yeah. 7 is just, like I said, it's scary. It's alarming. It's uncalled for, and it's selfish. It is one of the most selfish crimes. Addiction, I get it that they have this compulsion to drink or to do substances or whatever. I get it. But they need personal accountability. They need to, at some point, decide this isn't the life I want. Because who wants that life, really? Does anybody go to bed at night and say, I want to wake up a drunk? You know? He needs treatment. He needs help. But he needs to take it seriously and work the program, and he needs to want better for himself, for his family, and for his children. Really? Like the scarlet letter of license plates. I like it. I like it. I believe so, because she mentioned the per capita at the end. So possibly. I'm not certain though. I like that idea where, yeah, if you've been convicted of drunk driving, that you have special plates. Right? All right, guys, it is time for bed. It is 1:04 a.m. I am tired. I am sore. And I am going to sleep. Thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I can't tell you how much it means to me. You are the best friends in the whole world. I'm sorry, Bandit. I'm sorry, but I have you every day, all day long. But yes, you're my best friend. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to offend your cute little kitten ears. She is the most wonderful baby girl in the whole world. She's so cuddly and lovable. She's perfect. All right, guys. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.